Do you struggle with the question every day of what's for dinner? I know, it's the hardest. And you go to the grocery store and you walk around and you have all the ingredients, and yet you sit there and go, I don't know if I have that at home, or I'm not sure what to make. So today we're going to talk about meal planning. And that's where you just sit down with cookbooks, recipes, your thoughts, your phone, because you know you saved a lot of those recipes on a phone. You'll start out with a week, maybe 2 weeks, even a month or two. I know that sounds scary. It's really easy. Let me show you my thought process when I'm sitting down and writing out my schedule for the week or month on what food we're gonna have. So the first thing that I like to do is go with the basics. Go with what meals do you know you like. If you like Italian, great. Put Italian in once a week. If you like cheeseburgers, perfect. Write those in and write them in maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. And what will happen is you'll see a pattern of what you're eating and you'll be like, oh, I think I want to change that up. When I do it, I don't write down all the sides with it. I tend to just keep it of what's my main course. I know what you're gonna say. Oh my goodness, that's too much planning. How would I know what I want to eat? But don't you go with that question all the time of what are we having for dinner? Is this set in stone? Absolutely not. It is as flexible as you want to be. If you find a recipe in a cookbook while you're sitting in a waiting room and you're like, I really want to try that, great. Try it. Then that's a great thing to do. Just cross off that meal, maybe put it later in your little calendar and make it. Or you want to go out to eat, that's okay. But this helps that main question of, do I have the food? Is it thought out? And how long will it take me? This kind of settles that question of the day. So when I started out doing this, I start with what's in my refrigerator and what needs to be used up first. And when you look in the refrigerator, you can be like, oh, I have a lot of chicken, and you need to use that up before it expires. There's one thing, you go in and you write down, that's obviously what you're having this week. You're having something with what you have in the refrigerator. Next, you're gonna go to your freezer, and then you're gonna go to your cupboards. And that's gonna all tie into each other to make sure that you have the ingredients that you need. So when I'm making my meal plan, and you can see, I'm gonna go back to when we had a really busy season and I needed to have this done. They're all filled in. And then what I do is I repeat it, like the next month, I'll repeat, did I have tacos? Yep, I had tacos, and then 3 weeks later, maybe I have a different variation of the tacos. Instead of steak, I might have chicken. It makes it really easy to see how often you're eating something. You know you have those meals that are a standard and they seem like they keep getting flipped around in your recipes, and you're like, oh, I just want something different. This is a great time. It kind of forces you to take that cookbook, find that recipe that you flagged or the Pinterest, and write it down in here. Make sure you have the ingredients and go for it. So the first week I'm doing chicken pot pie, some fried pork chops, hamburgers, and a fish fry. And maybe next week, if I have something larger like a pot roast, I might have a leftover night where I don't put anything in and we eat whatever's left over in the refrigerator to use it all up. Don't forget, if you're using a food saver, you can use those meals later on and you don't even have to cook them. You've already done the work, you just need to write them in your book to know what you're having that week. So it goes pretty quick. I'm gonna show you here. So lasagna is gonna be here, and then I'm gonna fast forward to December, and I'm gonna write lasagna in here again. And I'm gonna go to January, and maybe way later in the month, I'll write it in here again. Because I know that big pan of lasagna, we're not gonna be able to finish it all. And I do not wanna sit and eat leftovers for the next 3 days. So I know that I'll be having lasagna once a month for the next 3 months. And I'm okay with that. If you want something different all the time, go ahead and write it in, but it makes your grocery shopping so much easier, and it takes away that question of what's for dinner. I do like to switch up what type of food I'm eating, the different proteins. Like every week I change out if I'm going through the week, I'll do like chicken, pork, beef, or I try to have 3 different proteins throughout the week so it doesn't get boring. I don't repeat a whole lot every month. I do all new. I do keep a little list of what standards that we like. I just have that tucked in a little folder here. And there's 32 of them, and I haven't updated this in a long time. There's 32 things on here. That's an entire month that I don't even really have to think about. I just have to look at it and write it down. But there's so many good recipes out there. There's cookbooks, there's magazines. Of course, I know you have a ton on your phone. Start cooking them, and if you have the ingredients, you're gonna be more likely to make it and see if you like it.